welcome to the Social Issue with me, Sam Marshall. As a social impact news platform, we focus on corporate social investment, corporate social responsibility, shared value, social innovation, social capital, and environmental social governance, ESG initiatives. Now, today, we are celebrating Women's Month by exploring KFC's incredible campaign highlighting the personal firsts of its female employees. Joining us is Nolo Thobejane, KFC Africa Chief People and Transformation Officer, to discuss how these stories align with KFC's commitment to social impact and driving positive change in the workplace. Nolo, thank you very much for joining us. And if you could just talk to us about this campaign that you're running internally. It's such an inspirational campaign. It's called Firsts. And
Yes.
Can you share the inspiration behind the kind of focus, this inward focus, and highlighting these personal stories of achievement?
Thank you so much, Sam. And can I start by saying Happy Women's Month to all women out there. And honestly, I think with this campaign, we jumped at any opportunity to celebrate women and promote a more inclusive workplace in KFC. And building on the success of our award-winning campaign for International Women's Day earlier this year, we wanted to highlight some of the outstanding achievements from the women in our South African business. We wanted to provide a platform for these women to tell their stories, and we hope that somewhere, someone is inspired to know that they can achieve great things in the face of adversity.
And in terms of just kind of the metrics for social capital and kind of the shared value model, how do you see the celebration of these women's achievements contributing to the overall growth and development of both the individuals and the organization?
Look, I mean, I think for me, Sam, it's more around our responsibility as an organization. And for somebody who has actually progressed my career journey from early days of being a team member, an operator, a team member from operations to operations director, heading KFC, rest of Sub-Saharan Africa, and now taking the responsibility and ultimately to find my passion in the HR fraternity. I really think as somebody who is in the position of power, it is our responsibility to make sure that we do have that social impact. But let me align this to what we're doing as an organization, because I think it's a bigger, it's bigger than just the campaign, but everything else that we're doing as a brand. As you know, KFC champions equality, diversity, and inclusion, and has placed women at the forefront of its social-led initiatives. And this is how we drive in this empowerment in different parts of our business. KFC at Hope, for an example, serves more than 30 million meals to 10,000 of children every year, and has 60% female volunteer complement, and 90% beneficiaries are led by or championed by women. We work in a business where 60% of the 40,000 plus employees are women, and hence campaigns like this want to promote and really share a spotlight into our women to say that anything is possible. Our first female GM for Africa, Akona, launched Women on the Move in 2021 as an initiative which prepares women at KFC for future leadership positions. We've got a Streetwise Academy, that's tackling youth unemployment in areas where KFC operates, and a high percentage of those young people don't have matrics, so we kind of give them that platform. So I guess what I'm saying is this campaign is part of many things that we're doing to make sure that we have a social impact, but more so internally showing our people that they can be growth, and that we believe in them, then they can become anything that they want to become, especially in our brand.
And you know what, Nolo, as somebody who has covered the KFC projects over the years, right? As somebody who's seen firsthand not just the impact of the projects, not only the relationships you've developed with one of your partners being Africa Tikkun. As somebody who's just kind of walked this journey as a journalist covering your story, I can firsthand attest to how passionate KFC staff are about just the projects they're involved in. So congratulations on that. And I think you guys have done a really amazing job on just, as they say, the stronger together, that gees I've experienced that firsthand. And I think also, and maybe this is a point that we'll both agree on, by just having these stories being shared. Like, so for example, one of these stories is this Nandipa lady who works at KFC, who is the
Yes,
first woman in her family to pass matric, and then
yes,
set her foot in a technical college. Dr. Michaela de Villiers, who's this youngest ever female recipient of a PhD, really then
yes.
talks to the conversation about diversity and inclusion, but using the power of storytelling in the workplace.
Definitely. And I think as a corporate, we do understand the unique perspective and values that women bring to our company. And we are bold in our actions to create opportunities for those, for more diverse inclusion and equity and belonging. And I guess this talks to our commitment. I mean, when we shared the invitation with our people to submit their stories, the response was so overwhelming. But I think what was so humbling for me was that, you are part of empowering someone to become more and to prove that they are more. So very humbling experience. I mean, building on what we had at the beginning of the year, I'm really looking forward to everyone seeing this complete list.
And how do you think, on the back of that, as a follow-up question, how do you think just sharing these stories, and I mean, these are stories across the spectrum, from women obtaining degrees, building homes, your own story of how you've developed through the ranks to the position you hold now. How do you think celebrating these achievements can inspire other women to pursue their goals? And how is KFC set up that structure for? And maybe what I'm broadly asking in a kind of in a relaxed manner is, this also then fosters opportunity for mentorship, right?
Definitely, and something that we do very well. I mean, earlier on in your question, when I spoke about the different programs or facets of our business in terms of
Yes.
purpose and making a difference, and I spoke about two things. I spoke about the streeters. I mean, the Women on the Move. I mean, I am the product of the Women on the Move, which is a 12-month program that actually identifies talent and future leaders, women leaders in our organization, take them through the program and ensure that they've got they know that they've got a career path here, and we empower them to take those roles, those future senior roles. And secondly, I spoke about the KFC Streeters Academy in terms of ensuring that in every level we empower women and we make them geared up for success. But I think when you talk about mentorship, Sam, that is something that is actually a fabric of our organization. I am a product of the mentorship, and we actually have formal mentorships that we do on a yearly basis in these programs. And as a matter of fact, as part of the Women in the Move, ensuring that we touch everyone, and it's not only those selected for the program, we've got something called an extended network, where that program is then extended to the 60% of the 40,000 team members that we have in the field. So just making sure that we make the table bigger and we create sets. And to do that, mentorship is one of the biggest instruments.
Yeah, a little bit earlier, Nolo, you talked about that more than 60% of the projects run by KFC, and there are many. I think, in actual fact, as somebody who's covered KFC for a while, the public at large it would blow their heads off. It would blow their minds to know actually how much work KFC puts out and how many partnerships it has and how many programs it runs. It's actually quite phenomenal. But have you seen, and maybe this is quite an easy question to ask, and I would an obvious question, but maybe I'm asking for a little bit more granular detail. Have you seen the growth of not just women, but the KFC team at large, the growth, the personal growth of being involved in those projects? And I can only then imagine that it contributes to the overall ESG strategy around social and governance aspects for KFC when you have a team that's deeply involved in the projects, and it happens to be more than 60% of those happen to be women.
I mean, and I think, when you talk about Dr. Michaela on the list, and I think again it's about storytelling, Sam, and as we publish the list, you will see some of them are actually, people, senior leaders in the organization and pretty senior leaders in the organization that has actually gone through our female leadership empowerment programs. Dr. Michaela, like you said, and that PhD in media studies is now in our Women on the Move program, and I have an opportunity to actually serve as a mentor for Extended Network. The other one that I'm proud of, and these are practical examples, and I think, Sam, that's what you are actually asking, is Hloni Mohope, who's actually our first Black African female to assume the role of Chief Marketing Officer globally in our market, is now a CMO in our Western Europe markets. And Hloni grew in South Africa, is now looking after 26 diverse markets, and it started in South Africa. So I think those are kind of examples of people that have gone through the program. Like I said, I've gone through the program as well. Our team members start as team members, they've got a career here, they end up as senior leaders in the organization. So I guess it's not only talking about programs and what we're doing, but it's actually showing the percentage is moving from when we started the programs and what we have now. Women on the Move, from an example, the retention that we've had of female senior leaders, we've seen that going down. The percentage of females that are now promoted to senior leader positions, we've also seen that going up. So I think those are the practical kind of KPIs that you can see moving based on all the efforts that we're putting in ensuring that we empower women for future leadership positions.
So this brings the following question. So what now? You've launched this, you're sharing these amazing stories of us, and I'm sure that it will then resonate with, we all at different levels in terms of our communication. Some might enter an organization a little bit on the shy side, and then as they go through the process, it unlocks other aspects of their personality. What now with this program, with this project? What will happen next? What are you hoping to achieve with these stories? Where will the stories go? And maybe just key us into what the bigger
100%.
picture is.
So remember we published earlier on, and I'm saying this, like I said, this was a follow-up on the earlier campaign that we had, which was the 51st in Africa, right, for the International Women's Day. Now we saw it fit that we go internally to celebrate our own, which also is going to be published as part of celebrating Women's Month, this month. Then what we are going to do is we are actually going to invite, as part of the next campaign of the International Women's Day and early next year, to say that we would like to remind viewers to then nominate their female first. So like we say, we actually want to make sure that the conversation is not only that of KFC. We started with the continent, celebrating the fact that we are in the 24 countries in Africa. We're now celebrating internal, and I'm proud to say that we are inviting viewers to start nominating their female firsts, which will then be published as part of the International Women's Day next year. And I've got an email address for that, Sam. They can actually send their email to za/kfcafricamedia@yahoo.com. So it's actually a formal invitation for viewers to nominate female first, or our customers to nominate female first, as they wish, to be featured on the 2025 list by sending that to the email I've just said.